Nearly 10 years ago, we got ARMA 3, the next generation in military simulations, and my god, was that game insane. I mean, it still is. ARMA 3 has been an incredibly long-lasting title, and still to this day has one of the healthiest player bases on Steam when it comes to multiplayer games. After ARMA 2's rise to fame with popular mods like Wasteland or DayZ, ARMA 3 was always going to be big. But yet, almost a decade later, still having just under 20,000 concurrent players daily, it has got to be a rare thing. Yet, with a 3-year break between ARMA 1 and 2, then a 4-year break between ARMA 2 and 3, the question was on people's minds. When would ARMA 4 come? It was a constant itch in the community that hadn't really been answered and was still hanging there for years and years. ARMA REFORGER dropped on Steam. So was this the ARMA 4 everyone had been waiting for? Well, not quite. The main question on people's minds was, why the hell does this thing exist? It's not ARMA 4, it's more of just a tech demo or a testing, and it cost $30. What are you doing, Bohemia? Why have you bought this out? 2 multiplayer modes, a 51km square map, using the same map from the original ARMA game back in 2006? It's pretty cool, but it costs a decent chunk of money. What is the point of it? ARMA 4 has, by the way, been confirmed, and it is on its way, using the same engine that this ARMA REFORGER tech demo is using it to test and try out new things to put it in that mainline game. ARMA REFORGER has been confirmed to have 1 year of support and updates, so we'll probably see ARMA 4 within the next couple years or so, but it's Bohemia, so that's very much destined to change in the future. It really seems like this is just a big test for the new engine. Bohemia confirmed themselves that REFORGER is running the same tech and will give players a really good and close as possible idea as to what ARMA 4 is, but it isn't the same game. It's a completely separate standalone experience, so don't go and buy REFORGER if you're expecting ARMA 4. But what are the main features of this standalone experience? Well, whilst I said it has 2 multiplayer game modes, there's kind of one main game mode. It's called Conflict. It's very much a big, complicated version of Battlefield Conquest mode. There's another mode called Game Master, which is a little bit like Zeus in the old ARMA 3, letting you edit, create modes in real time with real players. The map Everon is really nicely detailed. There's some beautiful graphics in here, and the lighting engine is another level. It feels a little bit better optimized than what ARMA 3 had, but not massively so, and you're able to explore Everon, the map, with all its variety and beautiful looking detail. The game has some variety of guns and vehicles, but a lot less than I think a lot of people expected it to. I mean, it's an ARMA game and there aren't any jets and not really any tanks either. REFORGER does go a little bit further though. It's actually available on Xbox console, so not only is it to test ARMA 4's capabilities on the current systems, but it looks like we're actually going to get our first mainline ARMA game on consoles within the future. So, is it any good? That's the killer question. Well, it's okay. Optimization is better than ARMA 3 as mentioned, although I kind of feel like ARMA 3 in some ways does look better in terms of actual fidelity and detail on certain textures. Lighting, I think, in this is a bit better, and foliage is captured in a more realistic way. Yet at least in moments it feels a bit weird for a 10-year-old game now to still look on par, if not better in some experiences than ARMA REFORGER. Yet whilst it's pretty cool, it's a pretty nice tech demo and it's really exciting for the potential it has in the future, a lot of ARMA fans are a little bit angry. It's $30, and there are so many limits on this game. It has a small tutorial, a couple of game modes, but it ends about there. Few vehicles, no tanks, no jets, and very few of those great scenarios that you're able to play in single and multiplayer within ARMA. Yet, it's hard not to say I don't enjoy it, because it does actually improve on most things that ARMA always fell back on. Big overhauls to the combat. The gunplay is really fun and exciting again. It feels like some great refined gunplay from a first-person shooter simulator, but put within ARMA, which was never really the case of ARMA 2 or 3. It kind of was always a little bit clunky, which, you know, wasn't ideal for a military simulation. Every building as well is enterable, whereas in ARMA 3 there was a few, and even the ones that you could go in were pretty much empty. ARMA REFORGER has completely overhauled that. The world feels alive, like it's really been lived in. vehicles as well. The handling is way, way better. There's also much more detail to the interactions that you can have with said vehicles. And all this makes it a really positive look into what we can expect from the future of the ARMA franchise. I think people are angry mostly just because of the price. I mean, why do we have to pay $30 for what essentially is an early testing phase for ARMA 4? Just so the devs can actually test things out? Surely this would be free. Even if it isn't free, maybe $15 at max, because that's the amount of content that this game has. I'm sure that probably wouldn't rub fans the wrong way, but it sets it at this $30 price tag, which makes people expect $30 worth of content, which there definitely isn't. And with only a year of updates, is it really worth investing into it now? I'd say, as someone that's a big fan of the ARMA franchise and is looking for something to tease them and whet the appetite for ARMA 4, and if you have a few bits of spare cash lying around, sure, go for it. If you're a bit shorter on money, or you're really particular on what you want to spend your cash on to make sure you get the most amount of content possible, ARMA REFORGER isn't that one. But please, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, leave a dislike if you didn't. But until then, I will see you in the next one.